to another Ladder Decks, where we discuss all kinds of decks that are being played in Hearthstone's ranked mode. I do want to say, as a reminder, that these are all standard mode decks. None of these are wild mode decks, so don't try and play these decks in wild mode because you'll probably lose. These are really geared in toward the standard mode, and they don't have a lot of cards from, they don't have any cards from GVG or Naxxramas in them. So keep that in mind when watching these Ladder Decks videos. So let's get into today's deck. It's another warrior deck, but this time it's a Dragon Tempo Warrior. Now specifically, this is a guy by the name of Chiron or Chiron? Not really sure how to pronounce his name, but he's got a great deck guide to this deck, as well as revisions for the deck and everything, and I'll put a link to that down below, and maybe an annotation or something here, so it's easy to get to and access. It's a really good guide on how to do everything. Obviously, I'll give you the basics here, but he goes much more in depth, so I really highly recommend checking that guide out for sure. But before we get into the deck, let's just talk about some of the newer cards that are in this deck from Whispers of the Old Gods. First up, we have Blood to Ichor. Now, this is a great tempo card for Warrior, just in general. It's even good in some of the control decks. So it's a 1 mana spell that deals 1 damage to a minion, and that's any minion. And if it survives, summon a 2/2 slime. So this is obviously a great activator for things like Gromosh or Execute or Acolyte of Pain even. You can remove Divine Shields with it. You can, ping down those 4 health minions like Totem Golem to be able to hit it with your face. Hit it with a War Axe, kill it, and then have a minion on your side still. You can also use it to activate things like Bloodhoof Brave, which is another new card, which I haven't really talked about yet, but as well as maybe you have a Battle Rage and you want to get an extra a card out of it, so you just ping one of your guys that makes sense to ping and get a better Battle Rage out of it. So it's a super versatile card, a great card to keep on turn 1 with this deck, I think, a lot of times. Alright, next up we have Ravaging Ghoul, which is a 3 mana 3/3 minion that has a battle cry of deal 1 damage to all of the minions. So basically, it's a whirlwind with a body attached, which is a great tempo card and a great, it does everything Blood to Ichor does. Activates Executes, activates, Gromosh, although you'd probably have to be playing an Emperor to be able to activate Gromosh in the same turn with this card, but either way. So it does all the things Blood to Ichor does all the things Whirlwind does. It's just a great card to have in this deck in terms of tempo, especially against decks like Zoo that have a lot of low health minions that flood the board. So the other new card we have is Malkorok. Now this card, 7 mana, 6/5 minion that has a battle cry of equip a random weapon. Now I was very skeptical about this card, and it took me a long time to craft it because I was really unsure about it, but I think he's proven himself to me many times over at this point. It's a great tempo card. I mean, you throw this down on turn 7, you get a 6/5 body and a random weapon, which can be anything from a Cursed Blade to a Doom Hammer. On average, it's going to give you a 3/2 weapon, which is still just great. Basically, look at it as you're getting a Fiery War Axe as well as a 6/5 body, which is, 9/7 worth of stats for 7 mana. It's pretty good. Now I've only had, counting today, I've only got Cursed Blade 3 times with this card. 2 times, nothing actually came of it. 1 time it lost me the game. Don't worry about Cursed Blade, it's not that big a deal. 1 time I was able to I had enough mana and I had a Fiery War Axe in my hand, I just equipped the War Axe and got rid of the Cursed Blade. And then today, actually, I was playing against a Control Warrior, and he just played Harrison for it and drew 3 cards off of it, and I wasn't really that worried about it. I was like, okay, great, thanks. So, yeah, this Cursed Blade is not a reason to not play this card. So as you can see, it's very dragony, which is cool. Which is a little bit different than the standard tempo warrior that's being played right now. So it's kind of fun in that way, and it's definitely different, so your opponents aren't going to necessarily know exactly what you're playing. There's some cards that aren't in here that are in the the regular tempo version, like the Bloodhoof Braves and the Battle Rages. And if you really like Battle Rage, you could probably tech it in here. And I just want to say real quick that N'Zoth's first mate is Chiron has had some different changes over the course of the deck. This was the first list I saw of his when I saw the deck list, so it's the one I went with. He's since changed it and removed N'Zoth's first mate, which I think is fine. It's not a necessary card in the deck. One of the cards that's pretty interesting in this deck that you don't see a lot is Alexstrasza's Champion. Now, I guess you do see this in some Dragon decks, Dragon Warrior decks, that is, that have been played in the past. So I guess it's not like super rare, but I mean, most people don't play Dragon Warriors. They haven't been all that viable in the past. I think this one's pretty good though, so you might be seeing more of these. It's just a cool card to see again, I guess. Another card that you like never see is Draconid Crusher. This card is, I see this in Arena, and that's about it. It's a pretty good card in Arena. So it works as a late game threat in this deck, or you can just throw it down on 6 and have a 6/6 body, It's fine too. It also works as a good activator for the other dragon synergies in the deck. Interestingly enough, what's missing in this version is Blackwing Technician. I'm not exactly sure why. I think he does have it in his guide as to why he doesn't run it. I don't remember exactly offhand. You want a hard mulligan for 2 drops in your War Axe. Like, pretty much all warrior decks right now, you want a hard mulligan for the War Axe. It seems like, anyway. And this is no exception. So hard mulligan for your 2 drops, your Fairy Dragon, your Alexstrasza's Champion, and your War Axe. If you get some other cards in your opening hand, especially if you're on the coin, it's not so bad. Like if you get Blooded Ichor, that can be pretty good. It allows you to kill things quickly and also just develops your board more. So. But you definitely want to be able to play quickly, especially if the meta is fast. Especially against a lot of these aggro shamans and the more aggressive zoo decks. You want to get your early game stuff in your hand. If you don't, this deck is kind of like the other Tempo Warrior deck is kind of hard to come back from if you can't get that early board control going. So once you get that stuff out. You just want to try and curve out the best you can. And this deck does sort of run into the trouble of running out of steam. Tempo is the name of the game with this deck. I mean, it's in the title of the deck. You want to put stuff on the board, you want to keep it there by making good trades with your minions and your weapons, just continually putting things on the board so you put more pressure on your opponent. And this is a fairly aggressive deck. You've got the Alexstrasza's champions that are chargers, you've got the Kor'kron elites that are chargers. You don't have too many taunts. Well, you have the Twilight Guardians and you have a Fierce Monkey, so it's kind of like one less taunt than some other tempo builds, but really those are there to be able to slow some aggression and maybe not even make trades in some cases and go face because you want to get the damage on quickly. This deck doesn't have the strongest end game finishers. Like, it doesn't go into a late game very well. It will go somewhat into late game, maybe like turn 10 or so, but it doesn't want to go too much further past that. Like in control decks, you really want to put the pressure on. In more aggressive decks, you want to be able to just control the board and then just outvalue your opponent with your bigger minion. And also things like your Blackwing Corruptors, being able to make good trades with those. And that's pretty much it for this deck. It plays out pretty quickly. It does suffer from running out of steam, like I said, which is why Sir Finley is in the deck. And you want to get Fire Blast, Life Tap, or Shapeshift as your top 3 hero powers to change from. Life Tap is like, I almost rate Life Tap above Fire Blast. Chiron doesn't. In most cases, he would prefer the Fire Blast because it can go through taunts, and I understand, but being able to draw cards with this deck is pretty huge. If you get Life Tap, you pretty much win the game with this deck almost every time. Well, if you get Life Tap and you get your Fire War Axe in your opening hand, you're almost guaranteed to win. So yeah, I've played, 32 games with this deck, with this version of the deck, and 21-11, so 66% win rate, not too bad. It's a pretty fun deck to play too, and it's not your average tempo warrior deck, and it's pretty good against a lot of different decks. I've had really good matchups against Shamans with it, really good matchups against Zoo with it. Some of the control stuff is hard, like if you get put up against a lot of N'Zoth Paladins, those can be iffy, but I mean overall it's not a bad deck, and this is what Chiron went to Legend with last season, so I definitely would say give it a try. It's not as expensive either as the regular Tempo Warrior in terms of dust-wise. It's only got 3 legendaries in it. And Sir Finley, I wouldn't say is an absolute must-have in the deck. You could totally sub him out for maybe like a Battle Rage or something, some other card draw, maybe another Acolyte of Pain, or an Acolyte of Pain since this deck doesn't run any, or something like that. You know, Malkrok isn't an absolute necessity. Maybe you could put a Gore, or yeah, Gorehowl in here. Maybe Gromosh isn't actually a necessity either, but he's a pretty big win condition, and really, if you're wanting to play Warrior decks, you should just craft Gromosh, because he's an amazing legendary in Warrior, and he's classic, so he'll always be in decks, and he's almost in every Warrior build anyway, so just craft him. That's pretty much it for the deck. Check out the gameplay vids I have after this. If you have any questions or comments, you know, feel free to leave those below, and definitely check out Chiron's guide for this deck. Give it a thorough read, and you know, you'll be on your way to racking up some wins. So, later.
Versus Uther. I will fight with honor. Victory or death.
Okay, I think I just keep Finley here. It's really not good. I don't know. I think I'll probably just do this. Nice. Card draw. So I'm assuming this is going to be N'Zoth Priest or Paladin, since he's not putting out a bunch of control bullshit right now. Could N'Zoth's first mate kill this off? Or if I play this and trade, what happens? Is that terrible? Or do I want card draw right now? Maybe draw some more cards? Awesome, man. Keep it up. See, what's more important right now? What am I doing next turn? I don't know. This is probably a better play right now. It's on curve anyway. I guess when in doubt, play curve, right? I don't know. Ugh.
Let me think. Your magic shall not save you.
Interesting. Awesome, man. Well, hopefully they'll help you out. That's actually pretty good.
For the Lightbinder.
I strike.
For the Dragon Queen.
And now he knows I have a dragon in my hand, right? The hell?
Reporting for duty.
I'm confused.
strike.
Okay. Hmm.
For the war chief! Fly, Polly!
Ah. Seems like a really bad card to play, but okay.
Reporting for duty.
Okay.
For the Dragon Queen.
It's not at all surprising. Well, it's worked out pretty well. Of course, he's got forbidden healing still.
Victory is yours.
Nice, Malkorok for the win, huh? Cool.
Rash versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine! Victory or death!
Damn it, Gromosh, you're fucking shit up. Oh shit, I gotta turn. Ah. No. Wait, that's not it. Where the fuck is it? There, this one. Use this one.
Fight, maggot!
Okay. Not exactly sure why he played that card, but okay.
Buying or selling?
Play the monkey next turn. What do we want? Frothing. Here's where he starts to catch up. I think the monkey's still better because that forces him to have something. Although frothing's good too. Outputs more damage. Alright. Okay.
Be thirsty.
We're both same health, but now it's more attack, so I guess this makes more sense. And it's still on curve. I can play Monkey and Finley next turn. I mean, he already played one Abusive Sergeant. I mean, he could have another one, but hopefully he doesn't. May have to waste a Power Overwhelming. Okay. Seemed like a relatively exceptionally bad play, but hey, whatever, right? Okay. Life tap, bitches! And we get rid of the dog. Got Blackwing Corruptor next turn. That should help. Should have Crazed Alchemist my guy. That would have been awesome. Well, I guess he couldn't have at the time. Should have hit into it and then done it. That would have been cool.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
Okay.
Put this apple on your head.
That was a mistake.
Was a mistake.
I wield the power. I strike.
You're correct. That was a mistake. Damn, nice, man. Why is this shit? God, get out of the way. Okay.
Well played. You win. This
GG. Oh, first shaman matchup. Okay. Great. This will be fun. Since I have the War Axe, I don't think this really is going to do much for us. Do I keep and execute though? Nah, maybe not. We'll see. Not great, but we'll see. Ah, fucking shaman, man.
The light protects me.
There's stupid shit like that. So annoying. Could just slam it, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Seems kind of bad, but draws me a card. I want to waste War Axe on that.
Job's done.
It's getting hot in here.
And playing off curve sucks, but I think I've got to. Have to, I guess. Could just play this.
I wonder.
Maybe I do that.
I wonder.
Could just War Axe too, I guess. Alright. Kill the bigger thing, I guess. We can kill this like anytime, really.
Did you bring some fish?
Okay. Really need to try and keep his board clear. Could play the Berserker. Probably just kills it though. Let's do this.
Did you bring some fish?
Okay.
The light protects me.
I don't want to play Flame Tongue Totem or something dumb and kill this off with that. It felt kind of bad to trade there, but I think it's probably better in the end. We'll find out.
I wonder.
These fucking taunts, man. They just have like never-ending taunts. Super fucking annoying. Heh. Sorry, man. Alright, well, we can get rid of the taunts. Keep our dragon healthy.
For the war
For the light binder.
Or would it be better to do something else?
What now?
I think it's better to keep the big thing healthy.
Dragon Queen.
Or, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
For the Dragon Queen.
Good lightning storm board. But it won't clear everything. It'll clear most of everything, but... Why not lightning storm? Okay, well that's good. Rock biter weapon? Oh, thing from below, okay. Well, we can deal with that though.
What now? The blade be thirsty. Ruktar Ogre! Hellscream!
For the Dragon Queen.
Need to keep my my guardian healthy here, just because of lightning storm. That's got to go. Can't leave that up. draw some cards. Well, maybe we just slam first. There we go.
I wield the power.
For the Dragon Queen.
GG. Bam. Why can't I do anything?
Well played.
There we go. All right. This deck is killing it.